Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the update stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis, Cobalt, and Miss D. Say hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
So, what do we have going on today? Well, we are 1 hour away from the big update and forced map wipe. And as always, what we're going to do is go through what is going on in this update, what you as a player need to know before getting into that fresh wipe action. And we'll go through any questions you may have as well. If you have any questions, please do direct them in chat to Miss D underscore that's me. We'll get to as many questions as we have the opportunity to. And with all First Thursday updates, this will force a map wipe across the board. There's no sign of a forced blueprint wipe, although many community and modded servers, including most Rustafied servers, do choose to wipe blueprints with the forced map wipe at the beginning of the month. The one exception at Rustafied is our Medium 3 servers, US and EU Medium 3, don't wipe blueprints unless forced by face punch. But that is what's going on with the wipes. And it does look like this update is coming out at the regular scheduled time, which is 2 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. BST, and basically 59 minutes from now. Now, what do we have going on in this update? There's some awesome stuff coming. First and foremost, highlight of this update. Well, one of the highlights, we got the Adobe building skin, and that's pretty freaking cool too. But the nuclear missile silo has been added. And this is a new high tier monument. You can see we're floating around the top of it here. But as the name suggests, it mostly exists underground. So you're not going to get too much action up top. Where the real fun begins is once you go through that big iron dome thing right there in the middle. So, how this is going to work basically is you go to the nuclear missile silo, you'll want a good amount of ammunition and firepower because there are a good amount of NPCs at this high tier monument. You want some rad protection, mainly a hazmat suit. And then you also want a blue card swipe to get in because you need that to actually lift that dome up. You can see in the in building right here, or out building, in building, I don't know. It's the building right next to the big radio tower is where you want to go in and you swipe that blue card. You don't need a fuse or anything. It looks like it's just on and we'll take a blue swipe. And then you want to go in as that's lifting up, as that dome lifts up, and then hop down to one of these platforms here. You do not want the top of that dome to hit you because it's kind of one of those insta death things. If that top of the dome hits you, it's just going to kill you right away. And you can see it starts coming down pretty quick. And then once you're in there, well, you are in there. Now, what you're going to find down here is really a maze of like 5 different levels, snaking kind of back and forth between the main missile shaft. And that's kind of the center of the underground action going on down here. Pardon me as I totally lose my words and get distracted. But once you're inside, you hop down and you're going to start working your way down these various different levels and everything like that, looking for loot, and also keeping in mind you got to take out a bunch of these new NPCs. We've got a new NPC here called the NVGM Scientist. Now, these guys sport a cool new look, which is night vision goggles, that glowing eye thing, and a cool suit. And then on top of that new cool look, they actually have more health than the regular blue scientists you're going to find. And they drop better loot as well. We can show some loot examples here, but they have the same HP, 300 HP, as the heavy scientists. And yeah, they drop different loot than the heavies, though. This is their own loot table. And the loot they're dropping is more ammo, gun bodies, high quality metal. Even a pump shotty was in there, I think. So some better loot than the normal blue scientist NPCs. Now, also, I got ahead of myself. When you're up top and getting in, you do want to watch out. There's 4 normal blue scientist NPCs up there. There's also some loot, nothing crazy good. It's mainly just some wood crates and stuff like that on the top. And the real loot happens when obviously you hop down into the silo and you start working your way down. But these MVGM scientists are going to take a good amount of damage to actually kill them. It's like 5 headshots to take them out. So they are a little bullet spongy. And you will need a lot of bullets because it looks like 23 of these scientists spawning down there. That was when we booted the server up, a test server up on a fresh wipe every time, and we counted the number of scientists. Every time it was like 23 of these guys. So they're all spread out kind of down there watching stuff. And they have a tendency to hide in some corners and around some corners and everything. So you want to be careful and mindful as you're working your way down this new maze of a monument. But as you do make sure to look in every nook and cranny, every bathroom stall, every bedroom, because there are a lot of different buildings or rooms and everything down here. There's computer rooms and living quarters and various different things. And there's loot spread out amongst all that. You'll find a couple of wood crates and like I think there's like 5-ish wood crates. We're seeing some variation depending on, the spawns and the times and everything. But around 5 wood crates and around 16 military crates you're going to find down there. And then there's also 1 elite crate at the bottom. So some pretty good loot, but also high radiation. So you need that hazmat suit, and you're going to need a lot of meds and bullets and stuff to get through all these NVGM scientists to actually really work your way all the way down to level -5. And level -5 is where you're going to find that elite crate, and where you're also going to find a red key card and some other interesting stuff down there. When you're down there, you're actually going to see some nuclear warheads and a little laptop, which is counting down to white, actually, because this monument is also for not just high tier loot and stuff like that, but it is going to be a part of some sort of server wipe event. Now, this server wipe event is still in the works. It's not actually going live. Based on everything I've seen, it's not actually going live today. So we're not going to see the server wipe event. It is being dubbed in the commits as Big Bang, So you imagine this is going to be a nuke going off. And along with that, there are some other end of wipe things that we're seeing the first glimpses of, such as Bradleys are going to be roaming the streets on the last day of wipe. And there's also this F-15 fighter jet flyby that we can spawn in and show you real quick once we're out of this monument. But all that stuff. Oh, and then the other thing with the wipe event is server owners can now set some convars when they're starting the server to really set that laptop counter. And it looks like this is all building to some sort of upcoming server wipe event where on the last day of wipe, things around the map are going to start going a little more crazy. There's going to be the Bradleys around, the fighter jets flying by. And then when we really get to that final countdown, it does look like the server is just going to wipe with a big bang. But the devs have been playing that pretty close to the chest. They've been hyping it up, but we haven't seen anything specifically visually around this big bang. And based on my conversations with the devs, it doesn't look like that big bang is actually going live today. It looks like that's going to be coming at some point in the coming weeks or month. So as it stands now, it doesn't look like we're going to see a big bang today, but we will keep you posted as more comes to light and is launched with that. Now, finally, you might want to figure out, well, okay, I got the elite crate, I got 16 military crates, I got all this loot off these 23 MVGM scientists. Now, how the heck do I get out of here? And that's a particular thing because you can't get out the way you came in. Once you jump down and that dome closes, you're not going to be getting out of there. Even if you have a friend up top who opens it again, you can't really boost up. It's like a one-way jump. So to get out, you actually have to work your way all the way down to that main nuclear warhead room and then start working your way back up through the opposite end of that nuclear warhead room. You work your way through, take a right through that little iron tunnel thing, and then you can start working your way back up the various different levels. And basically, you want to keep an eye out as you're working your way up, and keep an eye out, of course, for more MVGM scientists because they're on this side as well. And you'll want to look for an elevator opposite the admin office on level -2. And once you're there, you take an elevator up one level, and then you'll find fire burning in the corner and a couple other scientists there. And then from there, you can head up and out. And there's like a blue door that you hit at the end. and it won't open immediately. You have to go into a little office to the left, hit a button on the wall, and then that door will open. So that's how you get out. And that's really the only way to kind of get out. So once you're in, you're in. And it is it's a commitment, you could say. So keep that in mind before you just all willy nilly hop down in there, because it's going to take some work to get out of there. But that's the overall of the nuclear missile silo. This is the new monument. It is showing up on every map seed that we've seen. So it's a high tier, high priority monument. There's a lot of radiation, a lot of good loot, a lot of heavy NPC resistance. And it's all building towards this future event, this future server wipe event that we don't see launching today because, well, it's when the update goes out. It's not actually it is technically a wipe, but not with this update, if that makes sense. I don't know. So we'll see the big bang come at some point in the near future, be it a week or next month. We'll see. We got to wait for Face Punch to kind of let us know and fill us in on what's going on with that. But it does look like some sort of big bang is coming. And also with that, the last day of wipe, it looks like there's going to be Bradleys floating around, basically patrolling the various streets of the map, and some fighter jet flybys and stuff like that. So we'll keep you posted on Twitter and on Rustafied.com as this stuff more comes to light and is flushed out. But that's what we got for today, going live with the update. Now, also, there is a new building skin DLC going live today. And this is the first DLC of its kind. We've seen DLCs before, of course, and very often they're, introducing new items to the game, like a bunch of instruments or something like that, or sunglasses, or water squirt guns. But this DLC is different. This DLC is a skin for a building tier, specifically the stone building tier. So how this works basically is you can go on the item store. It should be soon here. Let me refresh. Let's see if it's updated. Featured Arctic pack, factory door. Doesn't I'm not seeing it yet, but it does look like there will be, oh, there it is, Adobe building skin under all on the item store. Cool. So $12.99 USD. This is a building skin item. Having this item in your Steam inventory means you'll be able to upgrade building parts to this tier. And this item is permanently bound to your Steam account. So it's not tradable or anything like that, like often the DLCs are. And once you purchase this DLC, basically how it works is with your hammer, as you're actually upgrading stuff and building stuff, you can there'll be an option to turn building skins on. And when you turn that on, then the stone upgrade option actually turns into an Adobe upgrade option. Now, as you can imagine, this is just a skin. It's purely aesthetic, so it doesn't change the damage or health rates of the walls or anything like that. It's all just still ostensibly stone, but it just looks different. You might also notice those little wood things sticking out of the sides of the Adobe and everything like that. And those do not have collision or anything like that. So there's really nothing else or you can do differently with this building tier other than look at it. So it's purely aesthetic. I do want to say I love the details. It looks really cool. I love the vibe of it. I just love the whole Adobe thing. I think it's going to be really cool for role players and stuff like that, and really like add some contrast to overall the landscape of Rust and everything. So I'm excited to see this go live. It does look like there's a couple other building skins being worked on. This is the only one and the first one of its kind going live. But based on commits, the building skins 3 branch specifically, it looks like there's going to be a brick skin coming and a stone block skin coming and even a tribalist skin coming. So I'm guessing tribalist is going to be the wood tier, and then brick maybe is going to be the sheet metal, and then stone blocks is going to be armor. I'm not sure really actually, but that would something like that would make sense. These are just going to be new skins for the existing building tiers. It's not a new building tier. And once again, that's on the item store now. Go pick it up, $12.99 US. I'm not sure what it is in international currency dollars, but once you got it in your inventory, it's really easy to use. It's just basically setting a setting on your hammer. And once you change that setting to enable building skins, then the stone upgrade option switches to Adobe, and that's it. And as you're upgrading, and it of course requires the same ingredients as well, it's just stone and stuff. So yeah, keep that in mind. And this is going live with the update today, which should be hitting, just a quick update on that time, 45 minutes from now, or maybe even less. Generally speaking, how this update comes out is we'll see the server update go live, and then that'll probably happen like 15, 20 minutes before the turn of the hour. And then we wait about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll see the client update hit and the dev bot go live. And at that point, we say, okay, the update is officially live. So that should be within the hour here. Now, also, some other changes going on with this update, recoil balance. We've seen a little bit of that. Specifically, Helk the other day changed it so the recoil of the Thompson and the MP5 got tweaked a little bit, specifically with extended burst fire. So the number of center hits during extended burst fire has been increased. And we'll show this off here. We'll show a couple just firing at a wall to get a sense for it. It is kind of slight, and we did like a video to try to exemplify it a little bit. Yesterday we did a little short, but it's kind of hard to see. It's more of a feel thing when you're in the game. But what we've got with along with the burst fire, extended burst fire for the weapons, the changes there is the Thompson recoil has been adjusted to be slightly more predictable. So you can see the Thompson is just going to be a bit more predictable when doing full auto. And when you're working with the MP5 and the Thompson in burst fire mode, you're going to see some increased number of center hits while doing so. So really, this is a buff to the recoil of both weapons, the MP5 and the Thompson, and a welcome one at that. I think that's going to be cool to see. And we can show it off. I don't know, Artemis, if you want to show burst fire a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't know that the full auto of the MP5 has been changed at all. Based on the commits, it was just the full auto of the Thompson has been made to be slightly more predictable, and then it's really the burst fire with the Thompson and the MP5. Those center hits are going to be a bit more.
Yeah, the burst is not going on the MP. So I'm sure it's, I think the MP, it was just the recoil in general.
Can't you just switch to burst fire on the MP?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, so there's no pull down at all.
Yeah, so you can see on the burst fire, those center hits are, and especially extended burst fire, so repeated burst fires on both the Thompson and MP5 are going to have more center hits. And it feels a little silly just sitting here shooting a wall over and over again, because it is kind of, once again, it's a subtle change, and I think you'll really notice it when actually in game and actually shooting at people. But with that, definitely a buff to both the weapons. And once again, the burst fire on the Thompson and MP5, and then the Thompson at full auto, that recoil is slightly more predictable. So those are the changes to the recoil that we're seeing go live today. Now, also another change coming to the AI that I think is going to go really well with clearing the nuclear missile silo is flashbanging AI has been added. So you can now use flashbangs to actually blind AI elements. This is working on all AI around the map except the heavy scientists. That on oil, we haven't seen the flashbanging work with them. That might be just an oversight. It might just not be implemented with that version of the AI. But it definitely works, and it seems to work even longer and more effective on the NVGM scientists, which I guess would make sense, because if you're wearing night vision goggles and some motherfucker tosses a flashbang in there, well, that's definitely going to hurt your eyes a bit more probably. So when you are going through the nuclear missile silo, you might want to bring some flashbangs, because there's a lot of close quarters combat, a lot of corners that you'll have to take and maybe blind these guys. And you can see that when they do get hit with a flashbang, they put their hand up and kind of block their face, and even sometimes they'll retreat or whatever, and they'll stop firing. So these flashbangs are a good way to help you clear out not only the nuclear missile silo, but any other place. So it might be a new good addition to your repertoire. Also this month, they did disable the ability to disable skins. So previously there was this Cvar called graphics.itemskins, and that, when you set it to false, would basically set any player skins to show the default Rust skin instead of whatever workshop skin they may be wearing. Now, that Cvar this month was made so that only developers and admins can access it. So the normal player can no longer turn off workshop skins. And the thought here from the developers, based on what they said, was they wanted to, ensure that everyone is seeing the same thing, such to level the playing ground. And there's definitely arguments for and against this, and it has been a pretty kind of controversial. It's one of those controversial changes, but it does look like it's going through. So as of this update, if you did used to just have graphics item skins set to false to show all default skins, you're no longer, it looks like, going to be able to do that. And this could provide a lot more value to certain workshop skins, especially camo ones and stuff like that, because now you're going to ensure that that's the skin people are seeing on you when you're creeping through the woods or whatever. Also, we got some nerfs to the Rust Plus app. And this is a lot around the camera functionality, but also a couple other things. Basically, the Rust Plus cameras won't see players and their names from as far out. And it only allows viewing cameras from Rust Plus when you're not connected to the server. And also, finally, crate and explosion map markers are no longer sent to Rust Plus, and static CCTV cameras can no longer be viewed from Rust Plus. So like the ones at Oil Rig and the monuments and stuff like that, they can no longer be viewed at from Rust Plus. And they've done a couple things to like obfuscate the IDs of these cameras and everything to reduce that. And you might be wondering, what's the deal with all these Rust Plus nerfs? What's going on with that? Well, if you're not aware, there's been a lot of these third-party apps that have integrated with the Rust Plus API to provide, let's just say, a level of functionality not originally envisioned by the devs when they were creating Rust Plus. It's really given a huge advantage to certain people using these bots, because it would do things like alert you of players nearby and various other things that was not originally intended when the devs put out Rust Plus and actually built this API. So we're seeing basically just a bunch of nerfs in that realm this month to stop the Rust Plus apps and bots from being so overpowered, basically. And there's going to be more information and probably specifics in the dev blog around that. But that's the long and short. You're just going to see some nerfs to the Rust Plus app and that API in general. Also, we got some new ammo world models coming in today. There's going to be a couple less burlap sacks going around when you're dropping ammo on the ground, as certain ammo types now have ammo boxes. They've got that world model. So when you're dropping different types of pistol and rifle ammo, you're now going to see the ammo boxes instead of the burlap sacks. And that's an ongoing project. There's definitely some more world models that need to be done. So there's still burlap sacks out there, but it does seem like each month, gradually, the devs are getting a couple more world models in and gradually retiring that burlap sack. Also, we got Twitch drops coming back on May 16th. That's right. The next Twitch Rivals event, is it the third one? I think it's the third one, is coming back on May 16th. And make sure to head over to twitch.facepunch.com and link your accounts. Also, check out, they redesigned the page. It's a cool looking page. It's got more analytics and stats and stuff like that, which is cool. And yeah, just keep an eye. May 16th, that Twitch Rivals event is going to go live, and the Twitch drops are going to go live. There's over 20 exclusive skins to watch, some general drops, some specific drops, but a lot of skins to be had for that 4-day event. It's going to be running from May 16th to the 20th. And that'll be your opportunity to get all those skins and enjoy that cool Twitch Rivals event. Also, we've got some other stuff going on. They fixed deploying stashes. So if you were having issues deploying stashes last month, hopefully that should be resolved now. They're doing more updates to game analytics. That's not really going to impact you guys as players too much, but it's cool information for the devs to have, to be able to see more insight into what the actual players are doing, how servers are performing, and all that stuff, so they can have more information to make more informed decisions about where the game goes. Also, recyclers have a nice animation when running, so they like kind of vibrate a bit, and the the recycler claws kind of spin around in a way that is cool. So nice little animation when recyclers are running. Also, vending machines are no longer giving out more than max stack sizes after server restarts. So that was a little one that snuck its way in there that has been patched up. So no more uh, big ass stacks in your vending machines after servers restart. Also, general improvements and tweaks to both map markers and pinging. There was some work on adding a map marker list on, I think, the left side of the in-game map, but that didn't make its way in. But overall, generally, there have been some tweaks and improvements to map markers and pinging. There are some issues with leaders' map markers disappearing after they died and stuff like that. And most of that should have been resolved by now. Also, some tweaks to the power line loot tables. Nothing big there, just they removed a wood box spawn from like 2 of the variants of the power line towers. They added a menu option to toggle using Steam nicknames for friends. So that's now just in the escape menu instead of having to futz with different Cvars. And they added an option to change radio menu from hold to toggle mode, so it works on trackpads. If you're one of like the 3 people playing this game on a trackpad, your radio menus should work now. And also, probably you shouldn't be playing on a trackpad, but who am I to judge? We've all been there, I guess. Also, fix for pumpkin being equipped on your head when you right click it from inventory. So no more pumpkin heads accidentally. And that should do it. That's about all we've got going on in this update and coming. Once again, the update is expected to hit in just about half an hour, about 30 minutes from now. Probably about 10, 15 minutes, we'll see the server update go live. And then in about 10, 15 minutes after that, we'll see the client update go live and the dev blog go live. And that's when we'll say the update is officially out. In the meantime, do we have any questions from the audience?
Yes, we do. When is whip? And is it a force wipe today?
It is a forced wipe, and whip is when the update hits, and the update is expected to hit within about half an hour. It's expected at 2 p.m. EST, and it's 1:28 p.m. EST now, or at 7 p.m. BST if you're on the other side of the pond, or wherever you might be. But basically, 30 minutes from now is when the update is expected to hit. It could be a little earlier, could be a little later. Generally, if it's going to be not right on time, the devs have been early, which is cool. But the devs have been really on point for years now on getting these updates out on time. So I see no reason why today would be different. And that is when the update comes out. And when that hits, then all servers will wipe their maps. No forced blueprint wipe, although many servers do choose to wipe blueprints with the first Thursday update, including most Rustafied servers except our medium threes. And yeah, and then we'll say the update is live. So just about half hour away here.
Artemis, can you show us the fuel barrels exploding when you shoot them?
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit. We ain't seeing that on our staging server. And
Yeah.
there was some weird stuff going on staging yesterday, and I'm not sure if that's going to be, maybe that's an end of wipe thing, like last day of wipe fuel barrels will explode when you shoot them, but we were just testing it out, and the fuel barrel or the red barrels are not exploding when you shoot them. I did see that on Reddit though, and I'm sure maybe yesterday on staging that was the case. The other thing, yesterday on staging, I logged in and was just floating above the map for a couple minutes. And I came back and there were like 3 Bradleys shooting at me, and I was nowhere near launch site. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I tweeted real quick. And then Alistair did confirm. He was like, that's just a last day of wipe thing, that the Bradleys are going to be roaming around the map. It is not an all the time thing. And so maybe the blowing up barrels was that too, or something different, or someone just trolling on Reddit.
I see Chip saying that you can.
Well, let's go shoot some red barrels. I mean, I think they should explode. By the way, red barrel in a video game, you shoot it, yeah, it should explode, clearly. But that wasn't I even tried with explosive ammo. And yeah, that was the first thing I did this morning when I got on. I was like, "Oh shit, they're exploding now." And I went and shot a bunch of them and they're not. Maybe but we wiped the map this morning, right? We wiped the test server map this morning. So yeah, that exploding red barrel thing is up in the air as far as I'm concerned. Maybe we just don't have the right build, or maybe it's something to do with the wipe event. But
Nope.
Is there going to be a recycler at the new site?
no, I didn't see a recycler at the. Yeah, no recycler at Nuke. Good question, but no recycler at the silo.
What map is ZenLabs going to do this month?
ZenLabs is doing Happus for the forced wipe. We've got improvements to Happus. A huge shout out to Cyphex and the whole team at Community Happus. Check it out, discord.gg/HappusRust, one word, if you want to be part of the Happus resurgence. Because Cyphex and the team over there has been doing a great job of updating that map. We ran it on our ZenLab servers for all of last month, and it kept being popular and kept being hyped up. So we're continuing to run Happus on our ZenLab servers for this wipe. Cyphex was able to get a version of the nuclear missile silo onto the map, actually. So Happus will have nuclear missile silo on it as well for this wipe. And then going forward, ZenLabs, for the time being, we're probably just going to keep running Happus as long as it's resonating with everyone and people still keep wanting to play it. But we are open to playing with other custom maps, and we've got Cyphex working on another custom map we might try out as well when it's ready. But for the time being, everyone seems to be loving Happus, so we'll just keep that rocking on ZenLabs.
When are they going to add the new big waves they talked about?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really seen much on that in the past couple months. There's been work on this what are they on? Water 5, Water 6? But no, we haven't really seen anything with that. So it doesn't look like this month, maybe next month, maybe the following, or maybe it's just in concept limbo at this point.
Does the scientist open doors down there?
Have
They
we seen
do,
a
yeah.
scientist? Yeah, we
they
have,
do.
right?
Yep.
Let me
Also, the
see.
scientists up above, if the loot spawns in their blue card room, they jiggle picky from the crate. They can go through it at the moment. There's no collision on it, so be warned.
Good to know.
Do you think they're gonna add graphics.item skin false again?
I don't think they're going to do that. It was a pretty and has been a pretty controversial decision. And let's just say, I get the counter argument. But as it stands, it looks like they're continuing to keep that Cvar locked up behind developers or moderators. So it doesn't look like the normal player now will be able to use that graphics item skins false. And I don't see them changing it back. Maybe they will, but I see why they're doing it, and I I think they're probably going to stick to their guns with that one.
Can we put storage modules on the mixing tables now?
I don't think so. Can you? Can we test that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
In the meantime, does AK sprays change as well? The recoil?
No change to AK recoil. And I know it's funny, whenever any change to recoil comes up, people have a lot of different very
Opinions.
visceral reactions and opinions. But as it stands, there have been recoil shifts, but only to the Thompson and to the MP5. And I'll go over it again, and then maybe we can show off some examples. But also, it's one of those things, it's kind of subtle when you're looking at it. It's more of a feel thing when you're in the game. But specifically, the recoil changes for Thompson and MP5 are as such: when you're doing extended burst fire on either of those weapons, you're going to get an increased number of center hits. So it's going to be better at hitting in the center when repeatedly burst firing the MP5 and Thompson. And then the other changes with the Thompson alone, the recoil has been made slightly more predictable. So that's the full auto recoil on the Thompson alone is more predictable and easier to control. So MP5 and Thompson burst fire, that's been changed and buffed. And then Thompson full auto has been changed and buffed as well. And those are the only changes that we've seen to recoil this month. So nothing with the assault rifle, nothing with any other guns or weapons that we're seeing.
And it was a no if it was the storage adapter you guys were asking about.
Yeah, no adapter on the mixing table. But good question. Always good to check those random things.
Yeah. Is the monument, hold on, is this monument required on every map?
It does look to be showing up on every map, and that actually speaks to the end game factor of this, the so-called big bang of this monument, which I'll touch on again. On top of it being a high tier, high loot, high NPC resistance, and high radiation monument, it is also going to be part of this server wiping event. Now, this server wiping event is not controlled by players. It's not like you and your group can get a certain number of key card swipes or something like that, or a code, and go down into that base level of the nuclear missile silo and actually wipe the server yourself. This is something that's controlled by server owners via Cvars in the start bats of the servers. So as a server owner, as I'm starting a server after this update, I have to specify, okay, the server is going to wipe at this day and at this time. And then when I do that, that actually sets the countdown timer on the laptop that's in that base level room, the elite crate room, and the warhead room of that nuclear missile silo. As it stands now, we do see other like kind of signs, and maybe we can spawn a F-15 flyby real quick. We do see some other signs of things that look like are going to be part of this big bang event, and based on what we're seeing, it looks like the last day of wipe actually is going to start catalyzing these other things happening, including Bradleys are going to start spawning around the map and traversing just the roads of the map. So no longer is Bradley just going to be a launch site. It's going to be There's going to be multiple Bradleys traveling around the road and patrolling the roads of the map. It also looks like there's going to be these F-15 flybys. Not sure if there's going to be any interaction with those or if those are just going to be flying overhead.
What was
And
the
then,
Cvar for that box? Sorry. The
oh yeah, it was
F-15.
spawn F-15, I think. Just spawn
Oh, of
F-15.
course.
And I think it just like spawns right. Ooh, server update is live. Ooh, good timing. 137. Let's get that updated here. We say server update is live. I'm going to tweet about it real quick. I should really type that tweet before I go live and just have it there ready to go, because I do the same friggin' tweet every month and I type it out every time. I think I said that last month too. Anyway, server update is live. That's a good sign. That means the server and the whole update is on its way out and looks like it'll be out on time. Generally speaking, once again, what we see is the server update come out about 20 or so minutes before the expected update time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we wait about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll see the client update and the dev blog hit. And that's when we say the update is officially live. So this is a good sign. Server update coming out right on time, if not early. We're going to go start taking down our servers and getting them up to date and everything like that. And in the meantime, if there's any other questions, feel free to
Oh,
let me know. But let me just,
there's a bunch.
there's a bunch. Just real quick on the Big Bang thing, we're seeing some elements of it, but no Big Bang is happening today. The devs have said it's like still a work in progress, and we're going to see that at some later date. I don't know when that's going to be, but the monument itself and all the loot and all the good stuff, the MVGM scientists are going live today. It's just that Big Bang event is going to be a thing, and we got to keep you posted on that because Face Punch has kept it kind of close to the vest, and we don't know exactly how or when that's going to go down.
Is there a cooldown on the flyby bugs? Because I did it once, but it was super quick.
Yeah, it's fighter jets. They go quick, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think there's a cooldown, but when I was trying to mess with that the other day, it was kind of weird. Like it didn't always spawn a flyby. So you might just have to hit it a couple
Yeah,
times.
I've filled the spawn groups as well. That might help.
Are those jets NPC only?
Yeah, no, you're not going to be flying fighter jets in Rust.
Imagine.
Yeah, in fact, when I took a demo of the jet flying and we actually paused it, the jet's kind of a low poly thing. I don't think it's meant to be looked at too closely at its current state. It's probably just a placeholder at the moment. But it looks like that jet's going to be part of the Big Bang event, which is still up in the air. The Big Bang event, we're not going to be able to show off today on this stream. It's not ready to go yet, based on my conversations with the devs. It is going to be coming at a later date. And hopefully, maybe the dev blog will have some more information when it goes live here shortly. But as it stands today, we're just seeing the new monument go live and all that stuff, the Big Bang, the flybys, the Bradleys spawning all over the map. That's going to come at a later date, maybe as soon as Monday, because we do have some server wipes on Monday. So maybe the odds on Sunday are going to be an interesting place, but we'll see.
If I keep this wider angle, does someone else want to spawn it quickly? See if I can catch it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do we know if the Bradleys that are roaming on the map can be exploded just like at launch and get loot from it?
I believe that the Bradleys spawning around the map, and this is once again not all the time, it's only going to be the last day of wipe. But when that last day of wipe hits, I believe all those Bradleys are just complete duplicates of the Bradley at launch. So same thing to kill it, same loot once you do.
Aye. Nice. Can you access the cameras from another cam system?
Yeah, they have the names. You can just add them and the other cams.
Also, can you hide a heartbeat sensor at the or Tesla coil on the logs that sticks out of the wall?
No, the logs that stick out of the Adobe building skin have no collision based on our testing. So you can't jump on them, you can't mount things on them. It's literally the Adobe skin is just a visual change. It's purely aesthetic. It is at its heart still just a stone building tier. And so all the stats, all the cost, everything, and how things mount to it is all the same. It's just a slight, well, more than slight visual difference.
They're too big,
How
yeah.
yeah. How much does the new DLC cost?
$12.99 USD is the price of the Adobe Building Skin DLC based on what I'm seeing on the item store now. It is available on the item store now. I recommend you go pick it up. Once again, it's a building skin of the stone tier. So instead of when you're working with your hammer, after you buy the DLC, you'll see this option on your hammer of enable or disable building skins. You want to just click enable building skins on that radial option. And then from there, the stone upgrade option is changed to an Adobe upgrade option. And that's basically how it works. We do expect another 3 building skins to go live. It looks like I guess probably in their own individual DLCs over time. But this is just the first of, it looks like, going to be 4 total.
Have y'all experimented with a huge build to see if the new building DLC makes you get more or less FPS?
No, I haven't experimented with a huge build, and to try to test FPS like that is not really, especially on a test server that's been wiped, it's not really like a valid test. It is funny how whenever anything new gets added to the game, people have a tendency of being, oh, there goes another 10 FPS. But I don't think it works the way you think it works. I don't, you know, it's just a new texture that's rendering. It's no different than if you roll up on a base that's just twig. It's just one more texture. And I don't think in the grand scheme of things that's going to be drastically more unoptimized than any other texture. It does have good details to it, so maybe slightly, but I really don't think it's going to be a big deal.
And good
What's up?
question for the good question for the deployables, because if it's small, then yeah, you can deploy it, and it seems to be hidden, and you can still access the wiring up for the power and stuff. So nice.
Ooh, interesting. Good question.
What's up with the deployable query stuff that they're doing in the commits?
It looks like deployable quarries are going to be making a comeback at some point here. It doesn't look like they're coming back today. And I can't imagine they're going to be coming back in exactly the same state that they were originally launched in, because if we remember correctly, the devs removed deployable quarries from the whole game because I think it was something along the lines of people were just hanging out at their compounds too much and not roaming the map as much as the devs wanted. So I imagine if these deployable quarries do come back, they're going to be a little nerfed or not quite as juicy as maybe they once were. But it does look like they're working on a new version of deployable quarries, and I imagine they'll be coming back not this month, but maybe next.
Do we know how it looks when the nuke is activated?
No, we don't know what that big bang looks like. I really did want to show off, if we could, everyone. My dream was to end the stream by showing off the big bang today. We did set up the test server to end the countdown right around when the update's coming out. But the fact of the matter is, Facepunch has not released the Big Bang yet. That is for future release, and we don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it does look like this monument is definitely going to be related to the Big Bang. It's not a player spawned wipe event. It is a server owner controlled wipe event. So this isn't going to be changing wipe times of servers. It's just going to make the last day of wipe be much more interesting. And then the wipe itself be quite the spectacle, because it looks like there's probably going to be a big mushroom cloud and some shock waves, and probably your base is just going to be destroyed as your flesh melts in front of you. I don't know what's going to happen, but it looks like a nuke is going to go off basically, and that's going to be the server wipe event. But once again, that is not going live today. That is going to be part of a future release that Facepunch is going to do, and we'll keep you posted as always on Rustafied.com and on our Twitter and all that good stuff.
Can server owners use the Adobe skin without the DLC?
No, server owners can't use the Adobe skin without the DLC. In fact, I needed to ask Alistair yesterday to give me the DLC so that I could show you all the DLC. Because on staging, unless you own the DLC and it wasn't available for purchase yet, you couldn't use it. So really, it looks like, and maybe this will change, and I'm sure there'll be a mod that makes it accessible. But as it stands now, the hammer will only give you the option, will only highlight the option to enable building skins if you have that DLC purchased. And it doesn't matter if you're server owner, server moderator, or anything like that.
Will we take damage on top of the recycler?
Good question. And it would look like it now that it's chomping. It looks like it would just suck you right in and kill you. But maybe let's go find out. Maybe it does.
Are we going to see a Rustafied Happis?
As it stands, we have no plans to open a custom Happis server. We're running Happis on our Zen Labs servers, and the plan is to keep running Happis on our Zen Lab servers. Our Zen Lab servers are kind of that playground where we can try out different things, try out like vanilla friendly game modes and maps and everything, and see what resonates with the audience. And so we're just going to run Happis on that for the time being. But as it stands, no plans to open a Happis only server.
That's will Happis have to do monument as well?
Yes, Happis does have the new monument.
Nice.
And shout out to Cyphex and the team over at Happis Rust, discord.gg/Happis Rust. Check it out if you want to be a part of the Happis development and help out with testing and all that stuff and stay up to date on what they're doing. But yeah, Cyphex worked hard yesterday figuring out how to port the nuclear missile silo into Happis, and he did it successfully. So all the loot and all that good stuff is now on the Happis map as well. So we got a totally fresh version of the Happis map that's never been seen before. And once again, that's going live on our EU and US ZenLab servers in just a couple minutes once this update is out. And once again, with regards to that, the server update did go live about 10 minutes ago. We're expecting the client update and the dev log to hit any moment, and then we'll say the update is officially live.
So no, yeah, you don't take damage from the recycler.
Yeah, that would be really horrific if it like caught a foot and started sucking you in there. Holy cow. But maybe in the future.
Maybe. Do you need to restart Steam when the update is out?
No, you don't need to restart Steam. If the update doesn't queue on your Steam library, you can restart Steam and that can cause it to hit sometimes. The other thing you can do if you're not seeing the update appear on your Steam library and you don't feel like restarting Steam, you can right click on Rust, go to Properties, Local Files, and start the Verify Integrity of local game files. You can cancel that immediately. You don't have to wait through the whole scan. But the first part of that verifying integrity pings the Steam servers to say, hey, is there an update? And then it'll queue that update up for you. So you can just start that, cancel it immediately, and then you can update. I don't know if that's easier than just restarting Steam. It's probably not. Maybe just restart Steam. But that's a little hack that you can do if you're not seeing the client update hit. But also, you wouldn't see the client update hit quite yet because it's not released yet. The server update is out, the dev blog is pending, and the client update is also still pending, but should be released within a matter of minutes here. And we'll let you know as soon as we see it hit.
When can we see a storage adapter on the storage car module or car lift?
I don't know. That would be cool. I think there's a lot of improvements we could see to cars and vehicles in the game. I think over time we probably will see a lot of them come in, but I haven't heard any specific chatter about that, so to speak.
How do you activate the skin as a server owner?
You don't. Well, you buy the DLC. There's as a server owner, you don't need to activate anything. The skin, you just update the server, and the skin is part of the update. Now, if you want to build a building with that skin, it doesn't matter if you're the server owner or you're just some naked Newman who just spawned on the beach. Regardless, you have to go buy the DLC. Once the DLC is in your Steam library, then that will give access when you're in game to have the option on your hammer say enable building skins. And then from there, the stone upgrade option switches to an Adobe upgrade option. And that's how you utilize this new building skin.
Do we have any news on the Rustafied related stuff?
Uh, yeah, we've been doing a bunch of quality of life improvements to our Discord, especially the map voting rules. We got a new AI-driven Rustabot in there to help answer people's questions. It's his second day, so he still gets some things wrong. I love AI though because when it's wrong, it's so very confidently wrong about it. But it sounds so right in its wrongness, but we're still training it up and everything like that. But it's there all the time to answer the questions that you might have, like when's this server wipe and everything. It's really good at doing that. And we've been just constantly working on improving. We've got a new report system coming out that's going to make it easier for you guys to report players and everything. We also added a grace period plugin to our servers. So for the longest time, people said, "Oh my God, I timed out. There's a 100-person queue. I just waited in that queue. What the hell?" And I feel you. So we created a plugin that gives you 5 minutes. If you get disconnected from our server and you don't have VIP and there's a queue, you got 5 minutes to rejoin and you'll skip the queue. So we're calling that our grace period plugin, and that should be live as well today as well due to popular demand. And there's been a couple other things. Check out our Discord for more information. It's we got a bunch of good stuff going on.
Let me see here. Do you know if nuclear silo is desert only monument?
No, we've seen it in the forest as well. I'm trying to think. I think I did see it in the snow once as well. So it looks like it spawns everywhere, but it is a high tier monument and it is spawning on every map. It's like the most priority monument. And if you think about it, if it's going to be part of every server wipe, well, it should probably be on every map. And so every map, regardless of the size that we've tested, the nuke silo has shown up.
Can you use the new build skin on middle walls and high qual?
Ooh, devlog is live. Sorry. We tweet about it.
Tweet, tweet.
Boom. RUST, repopulation unit survival test has begun again. And yeah, they got more lore coming in with this nuclear missile silo. And I do want to quickly shout out to the devs. First of all, the nuke missile silo, very, very freaking cool looking. Love the design. And keep in mind, guys, this is all handcrafted stuff. This isn't like some Unity assets or anything. They've made all this stuff by hand over months and months. So that's incredible. And the Adobe building skin is really beautiful as well. I love the details. I love the look. I love the vibe of it. So just overall, and the other changes as well. Awesome work. Shout out to the devs. Once again, another killer month, another awesome update. How cool is it that every month we see a relatively huge update to this game? And this has been years and years, going on 10 years now, and the devs are still at it. So thank you, Facepunch. Thank you, everyone over there, for your incredible work. And Wipe Event, as the countdown to the cycle reset approaches 0 on the laptop in the missile silo, the amount of NPC activity around the island will increase. Vehicle patrols will begin. Fighter jets will patrol the skies. Future wipes events will include infantry patrols, bombing runs, and more. Interesting. So this is just the beginning, and it looks like we're going to see more wipe event stuff come in the near future. Oh, and with that, the client update is live. Look at that. Let me tweet about it too.
Just on time.
Beautiful. So everything is live. Server update, client update, and dev blog is live. The update is officially out, everybody. We are updating our servers and getting them wiped and ready to go as soon as possible. So we're going to go focus on that. Do go update your clients, run this update so you can get in the servers quick. Restart Steam or verify integrity of local game files if you're not seeing that update in your Steam library. And go get this DLC on the item store, get that awesome Adobe skin on the item store so you can build the nicest looking base around after this wipe. And real quick, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. We are not the developers, we're not on the Facepunch payroll. We are just fans of the game like you who love reporting on development news and running the best servers that we possibly can. And the only way that we can continue doing that is through the support of the community. So to everyone who tunes in and watches each week, each month, to people who give bits, subscribe on Twitch, and to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for the support, because without you, we wouldn't be able to keep doing what we're doing. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And thank you so much. Also, thank you to my co-MCs, Cobalt, Artemis, and Misty, as always, for being here.
You're welcome, Bugs.
Yep, you're most welcome.
And yeah, much love to you all. And
We do
with
have a
that,
raid to do.
oh, thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome.
So yeah, we are going to raid Anthric. Got to get this ready. Shout out to Anthric over here, our featured streamer of the month. So we're going to give a little raidy poo over to them. I'm going to go make sure the servers are getting up and running smooth. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. This is Bugs signing off.